Frank Lloyd Wright and Nittler have one thing in common. That one thing is they both went to Japan and they both brought back something that is a very common feature in mid-mods. Welcome folks, once again, I'm your host, the modernist, Alister. So, what they got in common? Well, it's just that. They both went to Japan, and the two features that they brought back was Frank Lloyd Wright from his 1917 era in Japan, building the hotel there, brought back underfloor heating. Yes, the Romans had underfloor heating, but as far as coming back, putting a modern home, Frank Lloyd Wright. Nittler, when he was in Japan, discovered that he called it interrupting the Emperor's parade. So in Japan, pre the Marshall Plan, World War II, the Emperor of Japan was also the living god of their faith. So there were certain things that only the Emperor could do. So in other words, emperors got parades. Everybody else had a interrupted parade. So what is that? That is that the entrance to a home, it is against etiquette, or Japanese etiquette, to have a grand entrance straight up into sort of an unblocked or entrance into a home, which was called interrupting the Emperor's parade. So today I'm at a mid-mod, and what was behind me was the neighbor's house. This house is pretty special. All right. It's just one side of it. That looks like a spaceship. It's actually not included in the square footage of the home, and it's kind of like a free room, but we'll get into that space. So what are we doing as far as this Emperor's Parade business? There is the front door. Doesn't look very inviting. No garage, we're actually under a carport. And we'll do the front of the house at the end of the video as we're leaving. So how do we get in? So we walk in, it says there's gates. This is the front door. It's a spiral staircase. This door here and that door there are storage. We won't go in there. They're a lot of full and very dusty, but a ton of storage. And then that is actually a fountain. It's not on today, but the water, hold on, let's do this. Comes, so it comes out of that pipe there, drips to that plate, to that plate, to that plate, and then to our feet. There's the water control for it. It's just not on today. So we're interrupting the Emperor's parade. So the way you do that is you walk up a staircase, and apparently in Japanese culture, you would never ask an emperor to walk up a spiral staircase. They would have a grand entrance. What's nice about this entrance, which one do you want? Front door number one, front door number two. It's actually split. There is a skylight overhead, and then across from these front doors is that room. It looks like a spaceship on the front of the house. There's this little space. There's no AC, there's no heat in this space. So in the winter it's cold, in the summer it's hot. Today's actually a pretty cool day, and it's hot up here. What is kind of cool on this house, in the front, both sides, is a wood walkway. I actually got showed this house privately a couple of days ago by the listing agent. So Bernadette Augustine and her son Andrew. So thank you very much. Like I said, they are the listing agents, and they're letting me video today, which I really like. Also, today is at the end of tour day on a Wednesday here in Sacramento for other agents. So there's gonna be other people in the video, and there are times when it's gonna get a little loud. So I apologize. But there's another door. There's one open, but these decks do need to be restored. But that's about the only thing in the house that does. This house, the current owners have definitely gone through it and left it as original, but restored it. So you'll see some really cool stuff today. So as we walk through two front doors, go straight into a hallway. And this hallway is central to the house. So we go straight down, cuts the house in half. We're gonna walk right down here. And bedroom number one. This is your primary bedroom. You have to excuse the elevator music too. So But that is definitely an IKEA vanity. But it's just nicely done. The house just matches. I love the white fixtures. Very cool. And then there is wood paneling in this house everywhere. And what's nice is you get a window across the hallway, front doors, and that's actually one of the other bedrooms, the children's bedrooms. They're actually very cool how they're done, so we'll get into that. Storage in this home, 2 closets either side, and then there's 2 closets either side of the window. So it kind of mirrors, there's your window out to the front, and it perfectly mirrors the bedroom door, which I just like. And then that's actually a light up there. It's not a pass-through to the hallway. So, and then here I'll show you. So as you walk into the primary bedroom, there's a window right opposite. And look at this. This is all storage. I was getting nervous opening up closets, but look at that. And this is all the way down this hallway. Like if we go to the end, okay, that is all storage, all the way down. And then the other side of this wall is also storage, the whole length. So we're gonna come in here. This is an office, set up as an office, but it's a bedroom because closet. And again, double closets, window outside. Flooring is very original in this home. It is throughout. So you can see this. It's like terrazzo floor. It's beautiful. It's all original, straight through. So we're gonna go, I love these lights. So how's this hallway getting its light? Above our heads, hold on, I gotta get creative. So there's a bank of windows and that runs the whole length of this hallway. So the natural light coming in is both soft and indirect, basically, if you're in here, because stand this hallway, I'm standing in shade, and there's just a bank of light coming in. And then this house has a lot of stuff in duplicate. So this is living room, fireplace. Okay. You got these block walls. Okay. Fireplace. And then this, so it's the same shape on either side. I'll show you what I mean. So this is your dining room. Okay. And then there's a central column or wall, cuts it in half. So I'm gonna walk around because we got people down there and try to avoid people for videos. This is kind of neat. So we have this display case. So I was shown this home privately at the weekend, and that was all full of family photos. For folks mid-mod, it'd be a great little curio cabinet for any collectibles that you're into, mid-mod, glass, things like that. This here, got laundry room. This is very original. Back when Formica was Formica and it was the only allowed, you know, that was its brand name. Now it's just, you know, everyone calls it Formica, but that's very original and a very original color too. So, bedroom is at the opposite end from the primary. This is the kids' room, and it's rooms, plural. And I wouldn't call it a Jack and Jill. It's kind of a Jack, Jack, Jill, or Jill, Jill, Jack, however you want to look at it. So here we go. You ready? So you enter. We've got sinks. And we come down here. Toilet. Also there's a door. And then there is a bath with its own door, bath shower. And then bedroom number 1 for your children. Very cool. What's interesting, there's a shelf here I just saw the directions for it in another room when it was confusing me. And now I found it. That is a very, very mid-mod piece. Very cool. I was curious where it was because I saw the poster for it in another room. Again, bedroom number 2, kids' room. Okay, very cool. So you come out of here, and then this wall, from what I understand, was added to make this 3 bedrooms on this side. And the way we come back here, is another room. So this is a very cool space. So in case of, if you're wondering, so Harvey Carter was the architect of this home, not Carter Sparks, and did about 400 homes. I don't know what the other 399 look like, but if it's anything like this, they are some pretty special places. So very, very cool. I'm trying to get into the kitchen, but there's a group of people in there right now. So we're gonna go outdoors and we'll come back to the kitchen. So this home, current owners have had it 6 years, I believe. And they put a lot of their efforts, time, not to just restoring the main home, but apparently into the backyard. Boy, did they do a good job. So, you ready? Now, some of you are gonna say, well, I have kids and a pool. All right, this is amazing. I like this touch. You don't see it very often. I like it. That is your pool. Hot tub, all included. It's not a separate piece. There is a rail system, you'll see, down the side of the pool. There's a pool cover that covers hot tub pool, slides all the way out. So if you have munchkins, they just go walk on it. They're not gonna fall in. And I like this whole concept of, got like this little Baja beach. And you got the hot tub, and you got the pool. And so it's all one contained unit to cover with a pool, and it's safe. What is also nice is there is a gate there. This is not gated, but is a stairwell up. You could put a kid gate across that if munchkins were a problem. You need to keep them safe. That's actually a fake lawn, because getting a mower up here would be a pain. I would replace that with real grass, because that's me. Or even a vegetable garden, because heck, got a green thumb. And then just have an automated, powered up, those auto lawns, you know, kind of like the, oh, what's the brand for vacuum cleaners? Little robo thingies, but anyway, for lawns. And that just stays mowed. You're not futzing around with a lawnmower if grass is your thing and you don't like fake. So there is an outdoor kitchen that's been put in. So got two different barbecues, a little green egg. There's a pizza oven, there's a fridge. From what I understand, all of that is staying. That goes with the listing. And then there's this canopy, or like kind of a pergola above our heads. Step away so we can see it. That is your back garden. And then there's a walkway, comes all the way up, which we're gonna take, because with mid-mods, the number one question we always get is, oh, it's got a flat roof, they don't last. It's Sacramento. We don't get snow, we don't get ice, we get wind and we get rain. That's it. And they're pretty friendly to flat roofs. And as long as you maintain your flat roof, you're gonna be fine. So flat roofs are a TPO product, and that's the home. Once a year, you have a contractor or do it yourself, leaf blower the whole thing, and then a mop with some Dawn in hot water, and mop your roof once a year. Keep the dust down, because as dust builds on a flat roof, it acts like sandpaper and makes it abrasive and wears it away. So if, let's say, these roofs typically 20 years, if you do that yearly, you'll get 25 out of them. You'll extend the life of the roof. So not that hard to do. I love this garden. Like I said, I was here for a private tour on Saturday and I had a blast. It was a very cool place. And then coming back down and around. So there it is. Sit in your lounger and just enjoy your day. I just have a great house to relax in. And as kids get older, it's a great space. And if they are young, there's enough protections built in where you don't have to worry, and there's a little courtyard where kids can play and you can watch them from the kitchen and not worry about them escaping up here. And if they did, pool cover that's on here, it's really cool, safe-wise. Because I know that's a big concern. Families with young kids. It's amazing. I have some clients and you show them a pool. Well, it's my responsibility to take care of the kid. Okay, great. And then you have others. We're not touching that. That's unsafe. So, you know, different strokes, different folks, right? So this courtyard, I love this courtyard. It's a great place to eat. relax. And what's nice, there's your kitchen. And I just realized I like to cook. And then there's a pass-through window. So you can just cook, sling the food out. Good times. You're not having to like run around. I love this bank of windows. This is just, well, look at the plans too. They're laid out on the table. Apparently this was not original how it was done. The windows were smaller, but I like the way it's done. It is a very cool place. Now, remember how we saw the other fireplace on the other side? So the rooms mirror each other. What you have here, same thing. Fireplace number 2, and then that size of space that is a dining room on this side is, I'll show you, is a kitchen.
So you said they liked to.
That's the listing agent and her son, so we'll try not to put him too much in the video. But it's just brilliant. I love these light shades. Very mid-mod. And I love them. So these are the plans. The original. I did take a picture from my Instagram account so we can see it. But the original owners of the house were Dr. and Mrs. What is it? Mel D. Nittler. And John Harvey Carter is the original architect. And I haven't seen these in years. These were original for the kids. Blueprints were called blueprints because the ink they were used with was blue. And you won't smell now. I remember when I was a kid, my dad was as a car engineer. And so all the technical drawings would get turned into blueprints. And it's been decades since they were printed, but it has a very unique odor. And looking at it, I can still smell it. The smell in those is long since gone, but original blueprints when they come out of the printer, I don't know. I mean, probably something I shouldn't have been breathing in, but that's pretty cool. So I like it. So let's go back outside. I love what they've done with these different rugs. I'm not promoting them, but Ruggables is a site I like for rugs. And I like the fact instead of having a runner, as you can see, you could have different size rugs, shapes, colors. You could really have some fun with these. I would color block this hallway with rugs in mid-mod, very mid-mod-ish colors, kind of like a Mondrian-esque look. That would look really, really cool. So we're gonna go back outside to the interruption of the Emperor's Parade. Look at that. That has got to be the best entrance into a home I've seen. Now don't get me wrong, groceries can be a nightmare. General, like you go out, buy stuff and bring it home. You probably best to go around the side of the house to get it in. But, you know, who said mid-mod's supposed to be comfortable? You know, there's a couple other things in life that, you know, if it's comfortable, if you're doing it wrong, and it's boring. So, you know where I'm going. But hey, I mean, if you're the kind of person that you like things comfortable, knock yourself out. That ain't me. So that's not why I do mid-mod either. I just love this. So we're gonna go walk down the driveway and that'll get us a view of what this house looks like. Because like I said, the front looks like a spaceship. I like it, or some sort of like lunar modular landing. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So there we go. This is a great house. Another cool thing, so the era of this house when it was built, so there's a wall been built by the previous owners. That hides your trash cans, right? Back in the day, Sacramento especially, they built composters. They just built them into the ground. And that's where you put your garbage. You know, especially food waste, you just leave it there and compost away, and then next year you put it on your garden. So this is kind of neat. Again, it's this little staged area out here in the front yard, little fire pit, sit out, relax, and hang. So yeah, that, folks, is how you interrupt an Emperor's Parade. That's mid-mod done right, in my opinion. It's not a house for everybody. It's not a house that, once you're in it, it's convenient. You're sorting out storage. It's amazing. thank you, Bernadette and Andrew, for letting me show the house. I always appreciate it when agents let me do videos on their houses because, yeah, they're not fluff. We don't talk about schools. Don't talk about supermarkets. I don't talk how close or not close your houses of worship are, or access to woodland trails. No, it's about the house and where it sits and its place in mid-mod history in Sacramento and the history of mid-mod in general. So there was something I learned recently about Nittler. I did not know that. I'd never heard of the phrase interrupting an empress parade. I like it. I'm all for interrupting empress. You know what? Down with empress. But there we go. So thanks, folks. I really appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch this. Apparently there's 20,000 of you a month that watch my videos, which I'm blown away. But not a lot of you subscribe. So yes, please like, please subscribe. Like I said, I just recently looked up that number, 20,000. I had no idea. So yeah, a lot more should be subscribing. At least I would appreciate it. I really would. It would be very helpful to me. So thank you very much. If you are looking for an agent to sell, buy mid-mods, my information is always below in the videos. And so once again, folks, please like, subscribe. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. I really do appreciate it. And once again, thank you, Bernadette and Andrew. Be good to each other, humans. Have a good day. Bye-bye.